Hey, everybody. Welcome. I'm Diane, and I'm going to be leading you through a 45-minute gentle yoga flow today. I hope that you enjoy it. Um, I do want to say before we begin that with Facebook Live, you can see me, but I can't see you. So please go at your own pace. I'm not going to be able to see you to give you any modifications or adjustments. So go at your own pace. Take sips of water when you need to. Rest if you need to. As I said, it's a gentle yoga flow, so we're not doing anything too crazy anyway. But I want you to enjoy yourself. You should feel very relaxed and stretched by the time we're done. So we'll just give it a couple more minutes. I think yeah, we've got about 2 minutes before we start. So go ahead and find yourself a comfortable position on your mat and maybe just sit quietly for a few minutes and we'll get started at 4:30. Thanks, everybody. Hopefully we don't get too many interruptions from my puppy. You close the door, she scratches. You open the door, she jumps in front of the screen. So we may get some interruptions, but we'll see. The joys of working from home. So I think we can go ahead and get started. So let's begin by finding a comfortable position on your back. So lying down, change this. Just a second here. So lying down on your back, and if you have lower back issues and you need some support there, you can go ahead and put a pillow behind your knees to elevate your knees, or a towel, or you might want to just bring your feet to the edges of the mat with your legs bent and just let your knees fall towards each other. Otherwise, stretch out, feet can just relax out. Let your arms fall to the sides with your palms facing up. And once you're feeling settled, go ahead and soften your gaze or gently close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. And let's begin to bring our awareness to the breath, to the gentle flow of your breath as it comes in and out of your body. Notice where your body is making contact with your mat. The back of your heels, your calves, the back of your legs, your hips, your back, your shoulders, the back of your head, your arms. Feel the weight of your body on your mat. Surrender to your mat and know that the ground below you is fully supporting you. So let go and relax. Continue to focus on your breath as you inhale and exhale, not trying to change your breath or control it in any way. Just let it gently flow without effort, with ease. Maybe noticing where the breath lands in your body, your belly or your chest, and noticing the rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. And you may notice some areas where you're holding tension in your body. Direct your breath to those areas. It might be your shoulders or your lower back, or maybe you're holding tension in your jaw. Some of us hold tension in that space between our eyes, between your eyebrows and your forehead, our third eye. Soften those areas and let it go. Just let that tension go. And let's take a moment now just to think about how you showed up on the mat today. How are you feeling today? Maybe you're feeling energetic and confident and strong. Or maybe you didn't get very good sleep last night, so you're a bit tired. Or you're just feeling a little run down. But however you feel today, you showed up. So as you go through your practice today, be kind to yourself. Make adjustments where you need to. Take child's pose, sips of water, whatever you need. Because in this place there is no judgment. There are no expectations and no competition. On your next inhale, raise your arms over your head and stretch your feet out long. If you have anything underneath your knees, just remove it. Give yourself a nice full body stretch, maybe wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes. And then soften and relax. On your next inhale, bring your knees into your chest and hug them in close. Rock side to side, making maybe small circles in one direction or in the other. Just feeling your back against your mat, feeling that sweet spot on your mat. With your next inhale, reach your feet, straighten them out and reach them up to the sky. So the soles of your feet are hitting the sky or facing the sky. And now let's send some energy to those feet. So go ahead and rotate your ankle in one direction and then rotate your ankle in the opposite direction. Point and flex your foot. Maybe you take your toes and you spread them wide and then scrunch them in. Take whatever of those movements feel good to you and go ahead and make your feet feel good, because that's what gets you through the day. They hold you up. They take you places. Be grateful to our feet. And then exhaling, bring your knees into your chest again. Rock side to side. And then roll over onto your right side, putting your right arm underneath your head as a pillow. Maybe just sit there for a moment. And then when you're ready, push yourself up to your hands and knees and meet me in tabletop. So hands are underneath your shoulders, hip width apart. Your knees are under your hips. And we're just going to take a moment here to talk about hand placement, because in yoga, you spend a lot of times weight bearing on your wrists and your hands, and it's really important to strengthen your wrists and protect them. So anytime that you're doing weight bearing, you want to have your fingers wide apart. I call this starfish hands. So your hands are like a starfish. Place them down on the mat with the peace sign facing up to the top of your mat, and your thumbs are facing each other. Again, your elbows and your wrists are below your shoulders, and then press into your fingers, press into the knuckles. Let your hands do the work. Take the pressure off of your wrist. So anytime that we're doing weight bearing, I'm going to remind you to have these starfish hands. So now let's do some cat-cows. So we're going to begin with an inhale, and as you inhale, lift the tailbone and lower the belly, and with your nose draw a line up, lifting your chest and lifting your head. This is cow. And as you exhale, tuck the tailbone in, bring the belly button up, bring your nose and your chin inwards. Inhaling, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, bring your head up. Exhaling, tuck in the tailbone, bring the belly button up, bring your nose and your chin to your chest. Cat. Inhaling, cow. Exhaling, cat. Go ahead and do a few more of these at your own pace. And if you feel like lingering in any of the positions here, if anything feels especially good, go ahead and do so. I had a sore back a few weeks ago, and hanging out in cat really felt good. We'll just do a few more. And then finish with a flat back. Bring your toes together. Take your knees out wide, and let's bring your bum back to sit on your feet. And then bring your belly down between your thighs. We're going into a child's pose here. So you can reach your hands out in front of you. Bring your head, your forehead down to the mat. If you're taking care of your shoulders, you might want to bring your hands in, using your hands as a pillow underneath your forehead, or you can even stack your wrists, or your fists rather, and put your head there. Remember that child's pose is a pose you can come into at any time when you need to rest or restore, and you want to make sure it's comfortable. So find what is comfortable for you, and let's go down into child's pose. Take a few breaths here. Maybe directing the breath into the back body. As you inhale, come back up to tabletop. Look at your hands, make sure they're in a starfish position. Maybe take them out just a little bit wider than shoulder distance. Tuck your toes under. We're going to head back now into our first down dog. So pushing up, hips come up and come back. Pedal out your feet. This is the first down dog, so we want to make sure we're feeling good here. So pedal the feet. Let the hips rock side to side. Really exaggerate the knee bends. And then come to stillness, and your heels do not have to hit the mat. If they do, that's fine. If they don't, it may come. It may never come. It really doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and bend the knees. Look up to the top of the mat, and you can hop, walk, or step to the top of the mat. And once you get here, we're going to forward fold. So go ahead, bend your knees, bring your belly down to the top of your legs there. Let them rest. Let your head come forward and just hang there, really releasing the back. We're in Uttasana here, which is Sanskrit for forward fold. Yeah, I'm going to try my Sanskrit today. As you inhale, bring your hands up to your shins. You're going to have a flat back, top looking down, top of the head, shining forward. This is a half fold, Ardha Uttasana. And then as you exhale, come back to a forward fold. Inhale, let's rise all the way up, pushing down through the bottoms of the feet, coming up, bringing your arms overhead. And then as we exhale, we're going to forward fold one more time from the hips. Chest stays up. Come on, all the way down. Bend your knees generously. And we're going to step the left foot back. And then bring the knee down. Find some stability here. And then walk your hands up. We're in a low lunge here. So, whoop, I'm falling over. We're in a low lunge here. So we want to make sure that our shoulders and our hips are facing the front of our mat. Your knee is over top of your ankle and not falling in or out, but directly in line with your foot. From here, let's make sure that our shoulders are back, over our hips, ears over your shoulders. So we're not leaning forward. We're nice and tall, and then bring the hands to heart center. Looking good. We're going to do a twist next. So we're going to take our left hand and place it on the outside of your right leg. Take your right hand and place it in your back pocket. As you inhale, lengthen the spine. So lengthen the spine with the inhale. Lengthen the space behind your neck, lifting your head up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, rotate over to the right. Keep on going as far as is comfortable. And if it's okay, you can continue to bring your head around so you're looking over your right shoulder. We're going to take a few breaths here. And then release the head and release your torso to the front. Take your hands down to either side of your foot and step that foot back into tabletop and push yourself back to downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Feet should be about hip width apart. Take a look at your hands. Make sure that they're in starfish position. Peace sign towards the top. Looking good. Come to stillness. Now let's take our left foot, left leg, bring the knee in, and then step it forward. If you need to help it, because I do, go ahead. Bring that foot forward and then bring the knee down. Walk your hand up, your body up. And now we're in a low lunge on the opposite side. So looking forward with your shoulders forward and your hips forward. Let's lengthen the spine as we inhale. Make sure your back, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, we're going to the right. So go ahead and put your right hand on the outside of your left thigh and your left hand in your back pocket. And just turn, turn, turn as far as is comfortable, and then continue to take your head looking over the left shoulder if it feels good. You don't have to do this. A few rounds of breath here. And then release the head and release the body. Bringing your hands back down to the mat. Let's take a step back with that left leg into table. Look at your hands and push yourself up to downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Bend the knees generously. Look up to the top of the mat and hop or walk to the top of the mat. Once you get here, forward fold. Uttasana. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. Exhaling, forward fold again. And inhaling, push up through the feet, all the way up to the top. Bring your palms together. And this time as we come down, we're going to come down into chair. So it's basically a squat. So you're coming down into chair position. Utkatanasana. Make sure that your weight is in your heels and that you're not hyper extending the back. The back should be flat. Bring your hands into your heart. This might be a good place to talk a little bit about our core. If you engage your core, you're going to find some stability in almost every pose. So just pull the belly button in towards your spine and then just hug in your ribs, lower rib cage. Just feel your core get engaged. Feel that you might feel a little bit stronger here now. Maybe you can come down a little bit more. Look down and make sure your knees haven't come in front of your toes. Good job. A couple of breaths here. On your next inhale, push up through the feet. Come all the way up. Forward fold. Come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And this time we're taking the left foot, stepping back. We're going to stay up on the balls of the foot this time. You're not going down on the knee. So let's engage our core. And feeling that strength, walk yourself up to crescent lunge. So this is really just the lunge that we just did, but now we're up taller. So we still want to have our shoulders over our hips, ears over the shoulders. So nice and long. We're not leaning forward. We're up nice and tall. Bring the hands into heart center. Bend the front knee so that your knee is over your ankle and coming up nice and tall on that back leg. Very nice. From here, you can bring your arms up overhead, palms facing each other. You don't have to. You can keep your hands at heart center. And then if you choose to, an option could be to just give it a little bit of a back bend. Or just stay straight, or just stay with your hands here. As you inhale, turn the left foot 90 degrees. We're coming into warrior two here. So the arms should be out straight. Soften the shoulder blades. You want to have a heel to arch alignment with your feet. Engage that core, always engaging the core. Maybe spread your fingers out wide. Tuck in the bum and make sure that your right hip is open in here so your leg is not collapsing. We're doing Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Really feel the power in this. It's probably why they call it Warrior. Couple of breaths here. Flip your right hand so the palm is facing up. Bring your left arm down. And as you inhale, bring your right arm back. Really feeling a nice stretch in through the right side. Make sure your right knee stayed bent. Nothing changes in the lower half of your body. Looking up at your hand. Feeling that strength. Opening up the heart. Make sure you're not falling forward. Heart nice and open. And then let's bring it on back to Warrior 2. Taking the right arm, bring it on down to that ledge that you have made with your leg, and then bring the other arm up. Once again, making sure that you have a nice open chest. You're not caving forward. We'll hold it here for a breath or two. And then coming back to Warrior 2. Nice work, everybody. And then windmill the arms to that front foot and step the foot in. Forward fold. Come up halfway. Forward fold again. And then rise all the way up, bringing the palms together. And we're going to come back down into chair again. So coming back down, weight is in your heels. Engage the core, pull the belly button back, maybe coming a little bit lower. An option this time might be to raise your arms. Your back should be nice and flat, almost in line with your arms. And Utkatasana, chair pose. Let's take a few breaths here. Check your knees, make sure they haven't gone in front of your toes. Feeling the strength in your legs and your quads. And then push through the bottoms of the feet, come up tall. Forward fold. As you exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, halfway up. And as you exhale, come back down to the mat. And this time you're stepping your right foot back. Staying up on the balls of your toes. Find yourself some stability here. Engage your core. And then bring yourself up. Crescent lunge on the other side. So once you're up, make sure your shoulders are over your hips. Your ears over your shoulders. Nice and tall. Bring the arms in to heart center. And this time, maybe you want to try bringing your arms up overhead. Really engaging the core. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, turn the foot. Left leg now is going to be bent. We're in Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Let the shoulders just melt down the back. Engage the core. Check in on that front foot. It hasn't collapsed, or the front knee. Keep the hip open. Beautiful. Let's turn the left palm up. As you inhale, raise it up. Keep the knee bent on the left leg. Reaching up, not forward. Try and keep the heart open. Reverse warrior or exalting our warrior. And then as you exhale, come back to warrior 2. Nice. And then bring your arm down to the ledge, and the opposite arm is going to come up. Once again, making sure you don't collapse forward. Keep the heart open. Holding it here for a breath or two. And then bring it on back to warrior 2. Nice job, everybody. Lower the arms. Bring your left foot to face forward. So now both feet are facing forward. We're in a wide-legged stance here. Putting your hands in your hip creases here. Let's stand up nice and tall, lengthen the spine. And then begin to come forward from the hips, leaving the chest nice and high. You're not hunching over. You're coming down, coming down, coming down. Maybe bend the knees. Let the hands come out eventually. And you can tent the hands on the mat. You might be able to come down and flatten your hands. Some people can even go down to their elbows. Not me. So let's just tent the hands and take a walk over to the right side. You're going to feel a nice stretch in through the left inner thigh. Inhale and exhale. Walk it on over to the opposite side. Feeling that stretch now on the inner thigh on the right side. Walking it over to the center. Really bend your knees and bring yourself up to standing. Bring your feet in. Maybe roll your shoulders back and forward. Feels nice after all those warriors. Back again. Nice job. So now I want you to be facing me. So I'm going to stay with the length side of my mat here. But if you have your mat so that it's long ways, however you need to be so that you're facing me. So head on up to that part of your mat, and we're going to start in mountain pose. So just feeling your feet beneath you, maybe rocking forward and back. and then landing with your feet firmly on your mat. Really grip the mat with your toes. We're going to go into Tadasana, which is mountain pose. So we want to roll the shoulders up and back, relaxing, letting the shoulder blades melt down your back. And let's lengthen the spine, lengthen the neck, nice and tall. A little micro bend in the knees. This is mountain pose, Tadasana. From here, I want us to work into a balance pose. So we're going to begin to shift the weight into the left foot. So really feel the weight in the left foot. Feel the toes gripping. And then take that right toe up. Pointing your toe, bending your knee. And then when you're ready, turn the leg to the right. We're going to go into a tree pose here. You can stay here. Or if you want a little more challenge, you can bring your foot up to your calf. And some of our more advanced yogis may even be able to bring their foot all the way up to the inner thigh. So wherever you're comfortable, and then bring the hands to heart center. Find your drishti. Drishti is a Hindu word for your focal point. So find your drishti and just look there to try and hold your balance. If you fall out of balance, don't worry about it. Just come back when you can. I struggle a lot with my balance, and that's something that I'm really working hard on. And from here, you can take your hands up and make your tree have branches. Or leave your hands at heart center. And then let's bring the knee to the front, bring the foot down, shake out the feet. And back into mountain pose, Tadasana. So get those feet planted, dig those toes in. Let's stand nice and tall, roll the shoulders back. Now put the weight into your right foot. Grip the toes of the right foot into your mat, and then take the knee on the left foot and point the toe. From here, open your knee like a book. And then when you're ready, lift your foot up to your calf. Maybe you bring it up to your inner thigh. Maybe you leave it just down, wherever you're feeling comfortable today. Remember how you showed up to the mat today and honor that. Bring your hands to your heart, or go ahead, grow your branches. Beautiful tree poses. Bring the arms down, turn your foot in, bring the foot down, shake it out. Now we've done a lot of forward folding today, and I'd like to just open up the chest before we go any further. So we're going to take our hands behind the back. You can either bring your hands together, clasp them together, or just the fingers, or maybe you're just holding a ball behind you. Take your arms behind, bring your shoulder blades together, open up your chest, and breathe in, filling up the chest, and exhale. And one more time, breathing in, a nice big inhale, open your mouth and let it all out. Shake out the arms, maybe roll the shoulders a bit. Let's take a nice deep inhale as we raise our arms up. Exhaling, forward fold all the way down. Bend your knees generously. We're going into a ragdoll here, so it's a forward fold, but really letting go. Maybe you shake your head yes or no. Maybe take your elbows into your hands and rock side to side. Winding down now. Let the head hang. Really feeling a nice stretch in through the lower back. And then when you're ready, step your feet back to down dog. Lower the knees. Come into tabletop. Knees come wide on your mat. Bring your toes together. Bring your bum back to your feet. Bringing the belly down between your thighs. Forehead comes to the mat. Or your hands or your fists. Find where you're comfortable. And let's just stay in child's pose for a few breaths. You showed up today. You've done some great work today. Time to just relax. Breathe deep into your back body. And stay here just for a few more breaths. On your next inhale, reach your hands out if they're not already there and come up to table. Knees come under hips. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. A little bit of weight bearing here, so let's make sure we have starfish hands. Engage the core and send your right foot back. Let the toe come down to the mat. Energize that leg, lift it up, and then bring it over your left foot. Keep it going all the way across, and then bring the toe down. You can take your gaze now over your left shoulder, feeling a really super stretch in the hip area. It's one of my favorite stretches. A few breaths here. And then lift that foot up and track it over back to where it was and come back into table. We'll do the other side now. So engaging the core, take that left foot back, let the toe come down to the mat. Fire up that left leg, give it some energy, raise it up. Flex the foot and begin to track it over top of the right foot. Keep going till you pass it and then bring the toe down. Take your gaze over your right shoulder if it feels okay to do so. A couple of breaths here. And then bring your gaze back, bring the foot back into table. And let's sit back. Walk your hands back till you're sitting on your feet. Let your feet come out in front of you, nice and straight. Find that sweet spot in your sit bones so you're nice and comfortable. Legs are straight out in front of you in a staff pose. Your feet, your toes are going to be coming towards you, so they're flexed. And let's sit up nice and tall, lengthening the spine. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Come back up. Inhale, forward fold. Leading with your chest. You don't have to come down far. You just want to feel a nice little stretch in through the legs. There's no rush. And then come on back up. Bend your knees, put your hands behind you, and bring yourself down onto the mat, onto your back. Once you come onto your back, feet are flat, your knees are bent, bring your fingertips towards your heels. We're going to do some flowing bridge pose here. So with your feet flat, we're going to lift. As you inhale, lift the hips up. And exhale, bring the hips back down. Inhaling, lift the hips up. And this time, you can fire up your legs a bit. Pretend you have a ball in between your thighs and you're squeezing them together, or a block or something. You're not actually bringing your legs together. You're just squeezing them as if something's stuck in between them. And then exhaling, lower. One more inhale to rise up. And exhale, lower slowly. Bring your knees into your chest. Hug them in. Rock side to side. Find that sweet spot in your lower back. Circles in one direction. And maybe the other direction. And then come to stillness. Bring the soles of your feet together, opening up your legs like a book. And then walk your hands down to your shins. If this is as far as you can go with your reach, that's fine. From here, open up the hips. We're going into happy baby here. Now, maybe you can reach inside your arches of your feet. Maybe you can reach the outside. Maybe you just stay on your shins. But we're in happy baby here. Ananda Balasana. Ananda means happy. Such a happy word. Rock side to side. My 5-month-old little granddaughter does this all the time. And she giggles when she does it. You can go ahead and giggle. And then come to stillness. Release the feet. Bring the knees together. And bring your feet down to the mat. Take your feet as wide as your mat. And then windshield wipe them. So drop them over to the right. And drop them over to the left. And do this a few times at your own pace. Getting a nice massage in the hips as you do this. And then come to stillness. And go ahead and take any last movements that you might want to take. You might want to do a figure 4, or you might want to do a spinal twist. Or maybe you just want to get ready for Shavasana. So that could mean putting on some socks or grabbing a blanket. But if you're ready to go into Shavasana, go ahead. Stretch the legs out, or as we talked about in the beginning, if you need some support under your knees for your lower back, do that. Find a comfortable position. Arms are at your sides with your palms up. Maybe tuck in the shoulder blades a little bit. And tuck your chin down so the back of your head is lying on the mat. Lengthening the back of the neck. And once you're settled, go ahead and soften your gaze. Gently close your eyes. And enjoy Shavasana. Know that my voice will bring you back when the time is right. Your yoga practice does not have expectations for how you show up. It only asks that you be present and mindful of how you're feeling today. You may be completely put together or a complete mess. Doesn't matter. You may have a jumbled mind or a heavy heart, or you may even be on top of the world. Your yoga practice will never judge if you can touch your toes or if you can meditate for hours. It simply asks that you show up, and you did. Your body, mind, and heart thank you. I thank you, and thank yourselves for showing up. Go ahead and begin to wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers, bringing yourself back into your room. Make bigger movements by rotating your wrists or rotating your ankles, maybe taking your head from side to side. And then bring your hands together. Rub your palms together, creating warmth, and place them over your eyes. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Bring your knees into your chest and roll onto the right side, using your right arm as a pillow. Take a few moments just to lay there and feel so good about your practice today. And then push yourself up to a seated position. And once you're there, let's take a nice collective breath in and out. And one more time, breathe it in. Nice, deep, cleansing breath. And out. And on the next inhale, bring the arms up overhead, bringing your palms together, and then lower your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had so much fun doing this for you. I feel very relaxed and calm, and I hope that you do too. I welcome any feedback or suggestions, and I hope that I see you again and that you feel good about showing up. Bring your hands up to your forehead, bow forward. Go and be well. Namaste. Thanks for joining me, everyone. We'll see you again soon.